Want to make the best pasta salad? Stay tuned to this. This is the perfect way to make a summer pasta salad for any barbecues, picnics, or just at home in general. Here I am adding in celery, chopped orange peppers, and then I finally chop up some broccoli. I get one little stalk. It usually does the job depending on how big you like your broccoli chopped up. But I kind of like mine's pretty minced up where it mixes well. I do not like the stems in mine's. I take some English cucumbers and I peel them. I leave a little bit of the peeling on just so it could add some color. And I like to rinse those and then wipe them off. And then I chop those and dice them and put them in the mix. When I say the mix, I got a big bowl where I dump all the vegetables in, where I will show you how I blend them up. The red bell peppers give it a beautiful color and nice flavor as well. For the onions, I like to use a purple onion. The flavor and the color, it just makes it taste so delicious and look so pretty. Next, you would like to get some tomatoes if you do like tomatoes. I get these little small salad tomatoes and I cut them in halves. You can use whatever kind you like. And of course, you do not want to forget your green onion for the color and the flavor. You can chop that down as far as you like. I chop mine close to the ends, and I get most of the flavor out of that way. Here I
Next, you
am
want to take
chopping
your
up my
garlic
fresh
and you want to
garlic.
chop it
It's
up
maybe a
fine.
clove or two. Just
Garlic gives it
chop and
a
dice that
more
up finely
delicious
and put
flavor. When
that
all these
into
flavors
the
combine, it's so
mix of the
delicious.
bowl. Here is the bowl mixture that I've been explaining about. I put all of these in a gigantic tub that helps me mix things up with my hands to get a good thorough push through and have everything evenly distributed. And then I gave it a shake. It's time to add the dill weed, the black pepper, and the salt. The ranch, the Italian, and the ranch packets. I do use both in this big tub. You do not need as much for a smaller recipe. This recipe, I don't have measurements because I go by eye. I've made it so long, so just put in the ingredients to your liking. You want to give that a good shake and a good stir, whichever one. Add a little salt for some flavoring, more pepper, and then the dill. You want to give it another little shake through, make sure everything is blended up properly, and next we'll be adding in our wet dressings. Now it's time to add in the ranch. I use ranch and I also use Italian. I don't use a lot of Italian. I use enough Italian to coat all of the mixture. When I use the Italian, it helps the ranch absorb less because if you use ranch by yourself, I've noticed that the ranch tends to soak up and you need to add more. So when I do add a little bit of the Italian dressing, it helps combat that where you do not need to add ranch after the pasta salad has been made. You want to add enough ranch to make it kind of like soupy, like a little soupy mix. And then you want to stir that up. I like to stir this up and then I cover it up and then I put it in the refrigerator for like an hour, maybe 2 hours while I get things cleaned up and out the way. This letting it soak gives it a good flavor. Right here, I am using Rotini pasta tricolor. I cook it al dente, and you want to make sure that you rinse it super, super cold. You do not want hot pasta because it will continue to cook. Add any extras you might like olives. I use fresh dill, and I add pepperoni and Parmesan cheese and regular cheese. Right here, I am using just mild cheddar. I like to use pepper jack sometimes and Colby jack. It depends on the crowd. You don't want to make spicy pepper jack in case you are, some people can't handle the spice. So you want to kind of keep it neutral unless it is requested to make the pepper jack cheese. Cutting up the fresh dill to add in. I don't like to add that in when I have it soaking. I don't want to overpower it. I add the olives and the dill in once I have my mixture already ready. Because if you leave it in there, it kind of makes it, it'll make it salty. So that's why I add the olives in last. I don't let them soak. So then you want to add your pasta in a little at a time. I put a handful or two in and a little bit of cheese just to get started the mixture. This is where you'll know if you need to add any more ranch. I do use the big ranch from Kroger. For some reason, that mixes better than like Hidden Valley or any of the other ones. The cost is effective as well. So you want to try doing that. And then here I am adding in more handfuls of the pasta and seeing what else, if I need to add any more sauce in it. Well, ranch. So now I have everything pretty much mixed up how I want it to be. It does look like it needs a little bit more ranch because remember, this is going to sit and this dressing will soak in. So here's the final steps. You want to add in your Parmesan cheese, your pepperoni, and you want to give that another stir and see where this is when I said I wanted to add a little bit more ranch in. This is the final step of the ranch. You do not have to add this much if you don't want to, but I guarantee you this whole bottle got used. I think it's like the 16 or the 32 ounce. I'm not for sure. It's not the small one. It's just the next size up. So I flatten it out when I'm done. And then I sprinkle on Parmesan cheese heavily because they love it that way. And then I put a little bit more pepper at the top for, I don't know, because I just do. And that is how I make my summer pasta salad. Please let me know if you try this recipe and what you think. This is what it looks like when it's done. That's me adding more pepper. If you can't tell, I love pepper. But this is the final result. Thank you for watching.